This is News Hour on Ifako Radio. Good morning, I'm Olanireti Ololade. The major headlines. Electoral Act standoff. Senate calls emergency plenary as protest loom. Makinde Wike camps set for showdown at PDP headquarters today. Ghana recalls envoy to Nigeria over alleged electoral malpractice. Not all electricity meters are free, NAC clarifies. Business. Bank of Industry secures CBN approval to operate non-interest banking window. Entertainment. No cinema cabal in Nollywood. Scheduling is pure business. Mo Abudu. Burna Boy ahead of Davido, Wizkid in Nigeria, globally. Baba. News in detail. Electoral Act standoff. Senate calls emergency plenary as protest loom. The Senate has announced an emergency plenary sitting for Tuesday amid mounting public outrage over its recent passage of the Electoral Act Amendment Bill, particularly the rejection of a clause mandating real-time electronic transmission of electoral results. The decision was disclosed on Sunday in a statement signed by the Clerk of the Senate, Emmanuel Odo, who said all senators have been directed to reconvene for the session. The President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, has directed the reconvening of plenary for an emergency sitting on Tuesday, February 10, 2026, the statement read. According to the notice, the emergency plenary will commence at 12 noon. This comes as the Nigerian Labour Congress warned of potential nationwide protests and election boycotts over what is described as confusion and contradictory positions by the Senate on amendments to the Electoral Act, particularly regarding electronic transmission of election results. The Labour Union accused the Senate of undermining public confidence in Nigeria's electoral process by failing to clearly state whether electronic transmission of results would be mandatory. Also, a newly formed coalition of political activists under the banner of the Movement for Credible Elections strongly condemned the National Assembly's decision to remove mandatory electronic transmission of election results from the proposed Electoral Act Amendment Bill 2026, describing the move as a deliberate act of democracy sabotage. Why APC has not officially welcomed Fubara, Chairman. The All Progressive Congress has explained why the newly defected Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara has not yet been officially welcomed into the party. Speaking on TVC on Sunday, APC National Chairman Professor Nentawa Yiwatda said that the law is part of a strategic plan to manage regional sensitivities, particularly in northern states. Explaining the party's schedule of formal receptions, Yiwatda said, "We have Kano we are preparing for. When you are dealing in politics, we opted to clear the north first because Ramadan is coming and most of the people in the north are Muslims. We have a lot of communities in the north that are sensitive to the issue of Ramadan. So we pleaded that we clear the northern governors who have to come to the APC first to the south, where we don't have Ramadan as an issue. He emphasized that the delay has nothing to do with Fubara lacking authority. So these are strategies and also acknowledge the sensitivities of each community. That's the reason we took that decision. It has nothing to do with Siminalayi Fubara not having authority," he added. When asked about claims that Fubara appeared unable to assert control as the APC leader in Rivers State, Yiwatda challenged the premises of the question, demanding evidence of any internal complaints. Makinde Wike camps set for showdown at PDP headquarters today. The planned reopening of the People's Democratic Party National Secretariat at Wadata Plaza, Abuja, by the Minister of Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, backed caretaker committee through police intervention on Monday, as sparked concerns over potential confrontations. On Thursday, the National Secretary of the Wike-backed PDP faction, Samuel Anyanwu, speaking after a closed-door meeting at the Independent National Electoral Commission headquarters, said the faction would take over the National Secretariat on Monday. The crisis over the PDP National Secretariat takeover stems from a long-running power struggle between the Tanimu-Turaki faction, backed by governors including Sheyi Makinde of Oyo State and Bala Mohammed of Bauchi State, and the 13-member caretaker committee set up by the Wike-backed faction. Turaki is laying claim to the legitimacy of the PDP National Convention held in Ibadan on November 15, 2025, which has however been overturned by the ruling of the Federal High Court in Ibadan, Oyo State. The last attempt to access the Wadata Plaza Secretariat by two factions resulted in clashes and police intervention. The publicity secretary of the caretaker committee, Jogudu Mohammed, along with another committee member who wished to remain anonymous, said that the police had been instructed to open the secretariat following the Federal High Court's Ibadan judgment. Once the secretariat has been fumigated, the committee plans to proceed with convention activities there, Mohammed said. Ghana recalls envoy to Nigeria over alleged electoral malpractice. The government of Ghana has recalled its High Commissioner to Nigeria, Mohammed Ahmed, following allegations linking him to electoral malpractice during a party primary election in Ghana. The recall was ordered by President John Mahama and announced in a presidential statement issued on Saturday. According to the statement, the directive took immediate effect, but the Ministry of Foreign Affairs instructed to carry out necessary diplomatic and administrative processes. The decision was connected to allegations of voter inducement and vote buying during the National Democratic Congress parliamentary primary in the Ayawaso East constituency. Ahmed, who was serving as Ghana's envoy to Nigeria at the time, was also a contestant in the primary election. Reports from the primary indicated that items such as television sets and footballs were distributed and foodstuffs were distributed to delegates, actions that opponents and observers described as inducements. He has, however, maintained that the items were gestures of goodwill and not intended to influence voting. Explaining the recall, the presidency said the move was necessary to uphold the ethical standards expected of public officers and to avoid any perception of impropriety. Not all electricity meters are free, NEC clarifies. The Nigeria Electricity Regulatory Commission has clarified that not all electricity meters currently being installed across the country are free, as it sought to address growing confusion over the federal government's metering programs and recent warnings against illegal charges by electricity distribution companies. The chairman of NEC, Musili Osini, made a clarification on Saturday during a radio chat to Tadiola Samuel in the Rio of French FM, explaining that meters provided under government-funded initiatives are free at the point of installation, while other options still exist for customers who are unable or unwilling to wait. Oseni said meters supplied under the Distribution Sector Recovery Program, known as DISREP, are fully funded by the federal government and must be provided to customers at no cost, but those who felt the deployment was taking too long could pay for the products under the MAP scheme. The meter provided by the government is 100% free. The DISREP meter is free because it is paid for by the government. The discos have been rolling it out. Of course, they will pay the money back, but the loan comes at a very minimal interest rate. So, through the tariff, discos are not going to charge customers because of the meters. They are to provide it free of charge to the customers, and that is what the minister and DJ of BP actually meant, and it is 100% free, Oseni said. Illegal waste dumping. Loma cracks down on Lagos Island. The Lagos Waste Management Authority said it has seized several waste carts and arrested an individual during an early morning enforcement operation on Lagos Island, following targeted surveillance of unauthorized waste disposal within the area. According to a statement on Wednesday by the Director of Public Affairs at Loma, Mukaila Sanusi, the carts were intercepted at dawn by Loma enforcement officers during a coordinated operation aimed at disrupting unregulated waste movements and preventing the reemergence of illegal dump points in locations already cleared by the authority. Loma urges residents to comply with approved waste disposal channels and support efforts to keep public spaces clean. While the waste carts were seized at Isaleko, an individual named Murtala Lemon, a 42-year-old man from Zamfara State, was intercepted at around 1:31 a.m., dumping waste illegally at Tinubu Square, Lagos Island. Loma's early hour monitoring remains a critical enforcement tool, as illegal dumping activities are often carried out during periods of low visibility, the statement read in part. According to the Managing Director, Chief Executive Officer of Loma, Dr. Muyiwa Badegeshin, the sustained enforcement activities strengthen deterrence and protect stabilized sites from renewed abuse, as waste investigation, surveillance, and enforcement operations are strategically deployed across the state to eradicate persistent black spots and ensure sustainability along major corridors. Business. Bank of Industry secures CBN approval to operate non-interest banking window. The Bank of Industry is pleased to announce that it has received regulatory approval from the Central Bank of Nigeria to operate a non-interest banking window, marking a significant milestone in the bank's growth and long-term development agenda. This approval authorizes the BOI to commence non-interest banking operations, positioning the bank to further advance Nigeria's sustainable and inclusive industrial development through tailored financial for underserved and high-impact business segments. The non-interest banking operations will enable BOI to drive inclusive growth, mobilize new ethical funding, expand support for the real economy, and align its financial activities with social and developmental objectives. Under this framework, BOI will be able to finance assets and raw materials for customers using approved non-interest banking products. The approval underscores CBN's confidence and the bank's commitment to responsible financing. This will allow the bank to scale its operations, introduce innovative financial solutions, and deepen support for micro, small, and medium enterprises (MSME), as well as other underserved segments critical to Nigeria's sustainable economic growth. Entertainment. No cinema cabal in Nollywood. Scheduling is pure business. Mo Abudu. Media entrepreneur and chief executive officer of Ebony Life Group, Mo Abudu, has dismissed allegations that a cabal exists in Nollywood, working with cinema owners to deny certain films access to screening slots. In recent weeks, some filmmakers and cinema goers have taken to social media to allege that films are sometimes removed from scheduling screenings, replaced with other titles, or that cinema staff persuade audiences to switch movies after tickets have been sold. Speaking on Arise Television on Saturday, Abudu said cinema operators are driven strictly by business considerations and audience demand, not sentiment, favoritism, or personal relationships. While veteran actress Omotola Ololade acknowledged during the discussion that such complaints have become widespread within the industry, Abudu firmly denied that the alleged practices occur at Ebony Life Cinemas, which she owns. I have heard these things. People have been saying this. Actors themselves have come out to say this has happened to them, and there are so many fans too who corroborate these stories, confirming that some people convinced them to watch one movie apart from the movie they came to see, Omotola said. Responding, Abudu said, I can't speak for all the cinemas, but I can certainly speak for Ebony Life Cinemas. It's not true. We run a professional business. Our return on investment depends very heavily on making sure that we have people sitting in every single cinema. She argued that it will make no commercial sense for cinemas to deliberately restrict screenings or discourage audiences from watching particular films. Burna Boy ahead of Davido, Wizkid in Nigeria and globally. Tubaba. Nigerian music icon Innocent Idibia, popularly known as Tubaba or Two-Face, has sparked fresh debates in the Afrobeat scene by naming Damini Ogulu, also known as Burna Boy, as the leading artist ahead of Davido and Wizkid. Speaking in an interview on the Mic on podcast, hosted by Seun Okinbaloye and posted on X on Sunday, Tubaba shared his views on the current generation of Nigerian superstars. They clarified that while all three artists have produced hit songs, Burna Boy currently operates on a different level musically. I have my favorite song for each from all of them. But my own, if I must be put on the spot to say something, I think Burna is at the top of the game right now, Tubaba said. The African Queen crooner dismissed direct comparisons between artists as unfair, likening them to painters creating unique works. Recap of the major headlines. Electoral Act standoff. Senate calls emergency plenary as protest long. Makinde, Wike camps set for showdown at PDP headquarters today. Ghana recalls envoy to Nigeria over alleged electoral malpractice. Not all electricity meters are free, NEC clarifies. Business. Bank of Industry secures CBN approval to operate non-interest banking window. Entertainment. No cinema cabal in Nollywood. Scheduling is pure business. Mo Abudu. Burna Boy ahead of Davido, Wizkid in Nigeria and globally. Tubaba. Follow us on all our social media handles. Facebook at Ifako Radio, WhatsApp at Ifako Radio, X at Ifako Radio, YouTube at Ifako Radio, TikTok at Ifako Radio, Instagram at Ifako_radio. For news reporting, contact us at ifakoradio@gmail.com or call or WhatsApp 091 2222 7433. Special thanks to the news producer Olanireti. Thanks for watching. I'm Olanireti Ololade. Have a productive Monday. God bless Ifako.